Ladies and gentlemen, all rise for the RankKing's court.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most must-see experience on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. This is the RankKing's court. I, of course, am the Rank King alongside Noble Knight and Oracle, and we are here tonight to give you a wonderful experience into the realm of this chaos-filled world we live in. How are we doing today, boys?
We're good. We're back. Another week. Still not canceled yet.
How? Yeah, how? I don't know how. Are people not paying attention? That might be. Maybe we might be doing a low key good thing now because no one's paying attention to us. We can get away with more.
I wouldn't say people aren't paying attention to us, Greg. That doesn't make us a good show.
No, it is a good show. It just means that people are willing to let it slide by and they have bigger priorities to manage.
The people are more nice to you now.
Yeah. Which is weird because that's never been the case.
RankKing's.
Yeah, when has that ever been the case? Actually, that doesn't make sense at all.
You guys got me. Last week we talked all great things about the chain restaurant cycle and how that went. I think that was one of our funner episodes. I enjoyed it, especially when people talk about how great some chain restaurants are, and sometimes those chain restaurants have to be put in their place.
You know what? Not as much controversy as I was expecting from this one. I do think Applebee's got kind of the shit end of the stick a little bit on this one, but you kind of made up for it with the rest of your options, honestly. You really did.
No, I mean, when I'm talking about the ones that deserve to be bad, Applebee's 100% deserves to be near the bottom of that list.
It's not our fault that you don't like to be fancy. Sorry.
I will forever think that song is a load of crap, and I'll stick by that.
Without that song, would it have been higher though?
No.
No.
No, the song does not factor into how bad the food is. Aside from their apps, it's the only thing I'll go for.
They do have it's all you can eat boneless wings.
Yeah, for like $12.99. I mean,
but all you can eat,
but
though,
all you
bud.
can eat, yeah.
I feel like you can put some boneless wings away, bud.
Well, for $12.99, darn right, I'm putting away some boneless
exactly.
wings.
So,
you know, as time will tell, I always say we gotta grow older with our taste buds. That's why I always go with the blue cheese and celery deal as opposed to ranch. I don't understand the ranch hype anymore.
I still eat ranch.
Proud of you for your taste buds expanding and being willing to eat mold. It's a good look on you.
You got to. You know where else you can be bold, Greg?
Where can you be bold aside from where else the RankKing's court is located today, live from Union Fitness Studios, located on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. Union Fitness is more than a traditional gym. It's a place where you can transform yourself inside and out, with a variety of classes based around fitness, yoga, strength, and performance training. At Union Fitness, they believe that it's their duty to hold themselves and their clients to a higher standard. Practice what they preach and uphold the values to make Union Fitness the community that it is. Go to unionfitness.com today to sign up for a consultation. Through Union, there is strength. Good.
Always the strength, boys. We got some hot takes, I think, at least, to go in for tonight, because tonight's episode is revolving around a place that I honestly haven't been to in a very long time, and maybe that's my bad. I don't know. I never feel like I have the time anymore because
I think it's just too pricey nowadays too.
Well, you also live like an hour from it, so
Yeah.
I don't blame you. In fairness, I mean, I live like 5 minutes from it, so like it's not that big a deal for me. But even myself, like I never have the urge to make the trip. I don't know why.
I don't even know how much a ticket is though anymore. It used to be like $30.
I have no idea.
Definitely not
Normally,
that.
I would just go and you'd have to buy them from the Giant Eagles.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that was the way to go, and I think you can still do that actually.
I think so. But tonight's episode, guys, is all about Kennywood.
Oh,
The
nostalgia
wonder-
at its finest.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I got a lot of stuff in here. I'm hoping it'll go well. I mean, Kennywood, like I said, I haven't been to it in a long, long time. I'm surprised at some of the stuff that's not there anymore. So that's something we're gonna get into. I mean, Kennywood's just Greg basically hit the nail on the head. It's the nostalgia factor, and maybe that's why I don't know. I felt like it was more of like a kid thing that you went and did. I think honestly, the last time I might have gone, God, I must have someone. I don't know if I was in college or out of college, but I went to one of their fright nights.
Okay.
I did go last year. We went the Fright Night last year.
Fright Night was always like a big high school thing. I remember like a couple times in college that I was asked to go, and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Not a Halloween guy.
Not a big
Got it.
Halloween guy.
Hey, Austin, did you know Denny supports the troops both here and overseas?
What a guy!
What a guy. Yeah.
What a guy!
Can't go wrong.
Always supporting them troops.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't name his fantasy football team about supporting the troops either. I mean, I would expect that's how much love the guy shows too.
Maybe he doesn't support him. Though.
Maybe he doesn't. Yeah, it's supposed to be in all assets of his life, if you ask me.
V Murph, we welcome you into the chat, my friend. When's the last time you've been to Kennywood, fella? If you've been to, I mean, there are people that have honestly
Never been.
heard of Kennywood. or
Yeah,
never been to it.
I was trying to
So,
think because the last time I've been to Kennywood was, wow, couple years back. They used to, and I think they still do it for like Christmas season. They do like a Christmas lights thing at Kennywood where where like certain things like they just have Christmas lights like all around it. They have really cool like setups and designs
like
and stuff
light
like
up
that.
nights and
Yeah,
everything.
kinda, yeah, but it's not as crazy. So I remember I went there like a couple years back, and it was okay, but like not a lot of the rides are open, and even then, you're not gonna want to ride many of the rides when it's like in late November, early December anyway. So
Imagine riding a roller coaster, just flying. Down
yeah,
the hill.
not the best of times. Or going on the Raging Rapids, yeah, not a great idea either.
I don't know if they have those water rides open at that
I
point.
don't
No, I don't think so.
The Raging Rapids, is that even there anymore?
You're thinking of the Log Jammer.
I think so. Yeah, we're gonna don't spoil it. We're gonna get into
Sorry.
it. But V Murph says about 4 or 5 years since he's been. Chip says, yeah, Kennywood. Let's go. Glad to have you as always, Chip. Glad you're in the chat. But yeah, we got a lot to discuss, gentlemen. So why don't we just get right into it? I'm pumped. I'm excited. Let's get into radical ranking number 1. First on our Kennywood episode, gentlemen, we have maybe I don't know. We'll see how this goes, but we have the top food vendors at Kennywood. I think when you're going right down to it, there's 2 in particular that people can't seem to get enough of. They might be on there, they may not. So we'll see how we.
Oh
I
my
would
God.
hope one of those.
Oh
is at
my
least on
God,
there.
you might start a fight on this one.
I don't know.
Something that I need to do, at least now that I'm older and I can do this now. I've never had a beer at Kennywood.
They have a beer garden.
I've heard.
I don't think I have either.
I've heard, yeah. I need to do that now, just for the fact that I think that's like the last drinking threshold I might have is to drink at Kennywood.
We have. I'm trying to think. I wanted to do like a little, whatever you call it, drink around the world thing. Then even the next time I went to Kennywood, like how what is it? Universal or Disney, whichever one does it.
Epcot does that, yeah.
Yeah, just like go to a beer garden and like see how many you can have, and then go on the nearest roller coaster.
Oh my God.
See how many come up.
Yeah, really.
Well, they I was looking on, and they had like a challenge, I guess, for a punishment now for fantasy football, where you have to eat 5 Crunch Wraps and then do a 1.5 mile run after eating 5 Crunch Wraps.
people come up with this stuff?
I don't. I think that's
Like,
hilarious.
Jesus Christ.
I think we should do it, but personally, but
Or do a
Yeah.
whole episode of just eating Taco Bell.
Yeah, that'll get people talking. All right. Will also affect the people who are in the room as well.
good lord, no. Let's jump into it with when it comes to food vendors, like I said, there's like a couple in particular. So this one might not be as high on my list, and it's not high on, I think, on a lot of people's list. But when you go to like an amusement park type thing, you gotta go to get some popcorn. So number 5 for me is Doc's popcorn. Whether that be the kettle corn or different flavors of popcorn. I know, like in movie theaters, especially, I butter that shit up right away and then see what I can do. But kettle corn, I think they do lemonades there too. And full disclosure, there are no lemonade stands on here because I think that's a cop out as to everyone has lemonade stands. But whenever I went to a popcorn stand, in this case Doc's popcorn, I would always get the lemonade. That way I would able to get 2 of those checks right off of it. What do you guys think of kettle corn in an amusement park? Is it your go-to? Maybe not. Like, how do you feel about it? Get the fact that it's corn.
It's Kern. It's got the juice.
Oh my god.
We actually had corn the other night just because of that song.
Are you serious?
Well, we had corn, but then we kept hearing the song, so we're like, all right, time
It's
for corn.
corn.
But I think kettle corn is good to take home from the amusement park. I don't think you really eat it while you're there. It's one of those things like you take it, go home, snack on it on the way home.
Yeah. So first off, when I think of kettle corn, I was at the Renaissance Festival 2 weeks ago, and there's a guy that just walks around like carrying like kettle corn, and he yells like extremely loud that like you can hear it like halfway across the festival. He's like, corn! And it's just like there were like times where I was just like not paying attention, and then all of a sudden I just hear him like right up by my ear, and I just like
He's like right behind.
Oh my god, it was bad. Kettle corn is, I have nothing wrong with it. Me personally, I would not want to eat kettle corn at an amusement park. I like when I think of like popcorn or in general, like I'm okay at a movie theater or something like that. But like I don't want to be walking around with kettle corn the entire time. One, because I get annoyed that it gets stuck in my teeth, and 2, because if I'm at an amusement park, I would rather like eat something a little more hearty, and then something sweet. And then kettle corn doesn't really do that for me much.
Okay, and kettle corn's not the only corn I believe they sell there. They sell regular popcorn and all these things and everything with it. Controversial take. I think a lot more people eat the Doc's popcorn than you realize. Otherwise, why would you leave with there be all this popcorn that's just on the ground? I think that's one of the most infuriating things is when I'm walking by and I just hear a crunch underneath as I'm walking, and it's like 2 pounds of popcorn that's just all over the ground.
No wonder you rated Texas Roadhouse so low.
You know what? Gotta avoid them peanuts like minefields. Let's move on to number 4. One that seems like it wouldn't be the name itself sounds very generic. They do have one thing in particular. Let's say 2 things. I'll go 2, even though I haven't gotten the 1 in years.
Okay.
The Star Refreshment stand that is there sells one thing in particular that I enjoy, and that is deep fried Oreos. A staple at amusement parks. But Kennywood, I don't know, they do you go now and you get deep fried Oreos, and they're very small. They're like that big.
Yeah.
Not as much. Kennywood, I don't know what they do. They just take a thing of Oreos and just throw them all in there.
Basically, yeah.
One combines into 2, and then you have this ginormous like.
It's like a pepperoni roll size.
Yeah.
Oh
Oreo.
God, yeah.
This is the place that was by like the Log Jammer, right?
Yeah.
So I remember there were 2 places you could get them. There was the one that was by the Log Jammer, and then there was another one that was over in Lost Kennywood. That was kind of like by the swing, but I can't remember where it was though. But I remember there was one over there too that you could get it at. But the one by the Log Jammer is the one for sure I would have gotten them at. Yeah.
That and funnel cakes.
That was the other thing.
Yeah.
Is the funnel cake. I have not had. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not the biggest funnel cake guy, and I should be, but I think it's personally so freaking messy.
I was gonna say, you do not strike me as someone that appreciates the powdered sugar. That strikes me as something that you would get annoyed by.
That's not
not what he
true,
said.
right? The powdered sugar comes on the deep fried Oreos. So I'll get
True.
that. But they're nice, easy. Like you can take them, and it's like 2 bites. If
Yeah.
you're like have a jaw like me that can unwire and eat as much as I want.
The Bill Cowher jaw right there.
Exactly, But with funnel cake, you're having to like take everything apart, like here and there. Half the time, it's got some sort of like ice cream or strawberry syrup or whatever it is.
Strawberry, yeah.
And oh my God, I'll tell you guys this: there's nothing more infuriating. That's why I have to finish the
Infuriating.
lemonade quickly. Bugs at an amusement park are one of the most infuriating things that I can ever come up with off the top of my head. And not just any bugs in particular, but bees.
Bees.
Yeah.
are trying to eat a funnel cake, and I'll tell you why, because it is no premise as to what we're going to talk about later.
Is
But
this
the
a story time? Just out of curiosity.
It's story time.
All right,
yeah.
all right. I like it. I like it.
I can't remember when I was. Probably, I don't know, maybe I was like 11, 10, maybe even younger. But I had a funnel cake, and I went to take a bite out of it. You know what else I bit into?
What?
A bee.
You bit a bee?
I bit into a bee, and luckily, I bit into the middle of it, so I didn't
Ooh.
like get the stinger or anything. But I was like, something doesn't taste right. And I pull it out, and it's just this carcass of this freaking bee.
Oh my God.
You're a
That is
cannibal
fun.
even then. Damn.
I didn't know I.
You heard me. You heard
I
me.
did not know I was part B. I don't know, man. Funnel cakes for me never do it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of that, but I hate the messiness. I hate the stickiness of it.
Well,
If
have
you're
you ever
gonna
tried-
do
That would probably do it if you ate a bee.
Well,
while you're eating
yeah.
a
Well,
funnel
have you ever
cake.
tried to be classy and just eat it with a fork?
No, because people don't eat funnel cakes with forks.
I've
Greg.
seen people eat funnel cakes with forks.
When? This is the equivalent of people like slicing up their pizza. That infuriates me more than anything.
Wait. Are we talk? Wait. Are you talking like normal or even with deep dish?
Let's exclude the deep. You're gonna.
All right,
have to-
thank you. Because I've had conversations north of a half hour that have been very, very vitriol, like with a former
No,
producer
like a
of this
singular
show. So
slice and people cutting into it. Just pick it up and eat it with your hands.
that's okay. That's understandable. But funnel cake, I'm not kidding. Like you could use it with a fork if you want, if it's that messy. I've seen people do it. It's not that
Yeah.
bad.
I shouldn't have to do that though.
That was another thing like you would get at the end of the night. I remember my family would go there when Kenny was starting to close. They'd go down there, make sure they got funnel cake before we left.
Now, so for me, if I ever did, like it was definitely when I was younger. But like in terms of funnel cake or sweetness, I didn't. There were like maybe a couple times I got the funnel cake, but I was more the deep fried Oreo guy, and I would probably get that like early afternoon, so like around 1 or 2 or something like that, just to get that like sweet,
Convenient.
get that sweet
Like
kick
it's
in.
convenient. You can pick it up with your fingers and then eat it, and all you have to do is just wash your hands. With
Yeah.
the funnel cake and you're picking it up, it like all falls apart. You got
Right.
strawberry all over your hands.
Mhm.
It's just messy. Like in my honest opinion, if you're gonna eat a funnel cake, I understand that you're not gonna get them anywhere but outdoors. But to me, they're an indoor thing. Like if you're sitting for like an event or something, or like a concert or a show, or like I know they would never have these there, but like the medieval times thing, like where you're sitting and you're eating with your hands indoors, like funnel cake, that always seems like it would be in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, funnel cake is I don't know, not in the time frame of that, I guess I would say, so it wouldn't make sense.
I mean,
But you catch my
for the record, I'm not a fan of people who eat at concerts in general, but that's just me.
I mean, yeah, I get you. Let's move over to number 3. I remember having this. I want to say like maybe because there's two in particular that you have to have every time. This is one of those ones where like if you're trying to break out a little bit, I enjoyed it all the time. And that was Rogue Barbecue. They have a lot of good things. I remember honestly the barbecue tacos were a staple that I always got. They had like little brisket barbecue, little slaw thrown in there. If you wanted to be really Pittsburgh, I think at one point, I don't know if they do this anymore, but you could ask for fries on top with the coleslaw to make it more Pittsburghese. You get ribs, which I know, like I honestly never get the ribs because again, messiness. You're trying to be cleanliness as possible in these types of environments. They had wings, and you can tolerate the wings with messiness because, again, they're like the Oreos where they're like handheld, boom, you're done kind of thing. Like anything else that's like this long and it's got sauce on it, you're trying to throw it on, like it creates a little bit of havoc. But the Rogue Barbecue tacos, the brisket tacos, were always. I remember trying them for the first time and I thought they were amazing. So I just would make it a point that if I was still hungry in the evenings, that I would get some.
So this is how long it's been since I've been to Kennywood, because I haven't been there since the
Steel curtain.
since the steel curtain was built. So like I didn't know there was a barbecue place there anyway.
Yeah,
so
I don't know if I've been there either.
Yeah, so I have like no say in this whatsoever. I would say I wouldn't say there's anything. I'm not opposed to barbecue at an amusement park necessarily if it's good barbecue, but it's not something that I would go out of my way to get, I would say.
Well, again, yeah, it's just something that if you're looking for something a little bit more hearty, I guess I should
That's
say.
fair. Yeah, hearty. Yeah, but even then though, bud, like if like I wanted something that like was very hearty, that I needed something that would like fill me up for a while, like I would probably lean more towards like a burger or maybe chicken or something like that. I mean,
Yeah,
there's some ones that I will get into because I know you don't have them listed on here that I would probably fit that category as well. But like, but for now, I'm not opposed to this. I didn't know this existed.
I got you.
Where is this? Like in Kennywood?
I think it's right by, if I remember the picture correctly, it's right by the steel curtain, I think.
Yeah. So
Is
that
where
explains
the
it.
log jammer was, or is that somewhere else?
No, that's around where it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's located by R2, which we switched from savory to sweet. And it's the Gold Nugget. It is
All
the
right.
Gold Nugget
Good.
ice cream. That has to be on there. You have the square ice cream cones that you would dip in chocolate. The way to go was always the chocolate and the peanuts. And
I'm proud of you for being good on this one, even though you can't eat it with the peanuts.
I just tell them no peanuts.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever had one of those ice cream cones though.
Really?
I think about it.
Oh, this was like this was a staple. You had to have it at least like once, just because it was so cool. Because it was the ice cream cone that was literally just a rectangle.
Which I figured out, like they would take them and they would have like one of those cutters, and they were like a pizza cutter, and they would cut it like this.
Okay.
I never even knew.
I was always fascinated just from the fact too that it was just a perfect square ice cream too that they would put in. It was like the middle of an ice cream sandwich. They would just stick into the cone. It was so cool.
Yeah. I always get one. No matter what. It's most likely to end the night because I feel like if you have one of these, and people do, don't get me wrong, but when they have them during the day, it's hot, stuff is melting, you get gross, you're already sweaty from walking around the whole place. And don't get me started on the mist showers for how many like mouth breathers and everything are around there. Golden Nugget though, number 2. And no surprise, number 1 for me in particular is the potato patch. I mean, you gotta go and get it. I've never been, honestly, I'm gonna be straight up, I've never been the biggest potato fan. I have them in fries and I have them in mashed potatoes, more or less, but I didn't start actually really you have your iffy potato, like French fries, your McDonald's fries and your Arby's fries, but these potato fries, man, they just hit different. The cheese and the bacon on them, I'll spend $15 for a whole pack of them and just eat it up.
They're just greasy.
Oh yeah, I mean, could you imagine working the potato patch during the day and stuff with the fryer going and stuff? Oh, that'd be brutal. Absolutely brutal. The lines are so long too. Yeah, it's bad.
It's just, sometimes I wonder who has it worse: amusement park workers or people that are in mascot outfits. I have no idea.
Which by the way, that brings me a question. Did you ever work at Kennywood?
No.
Really?
everyone in my high school did, and I told myself I was not going to do that. So instead, I worked at the movie theater.
Everyone in my high school worked there too, but I kind of lucked out because my mom worked at our church, and she needed like another person to work in the office. So like while all my friends were baking in the sun, like I was working in an air conditioned office the entire time.
They worked like crazy hours.
Oh,
like,
they
it
got
was insane.
They
I
got
was like, I'm
paid
not doing
so
that.
little and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was just like I couldn't even. I felt bad.
My sister worked there maybe a month or so, and then she had soccer camp, and
Yeah.
she was out.
That was like a rite of passage. I feel like for a lot of people at the time. All right.
Places we missed.
Oh, hang on. I got a couple. First off, number one.
If I have the same one.
First off, the way to end a night at Kennywood all the time, fudge shop.
Yes.
The fudge shop. You have to stop at the fudge shop. Get like 2 hunks of fudge on the way out and stuff like that. And that's how you end a night at Kennywood. For me, the one next to the Golden Nugget that was attached to it was a pizza place, and I can't.
The ones where you get pizza by the slices.
Pizza Warehouse.
That
Yes.
was like between Kittyland. Too,
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. I love Pizza Warehouse because I was a bigger pizza fan growing up. So like I used to always want to go there for food after the fact. And then a hidden gem one. Well, not so much hidden gem, but just like an underlying thing. If you don't want to wait in line for the potato patch, go to Small Fries.
Small Fries, yeah.
Go to Small Fries because you can get your chicken and the fries are basically the exact same. So you just go to Small Fry, you get chicken on top of it, you can get some buffalo sauce on your fries. You are golden at that case. So those are some big outliers on my part.
And this is a new one. It might have just been this past summer or maybe last year, but Auntie Anne's. There's an Auntie Anne's in
Oh,
Kennywood
is
now.
there? Nice.
You find those everywhere. Though.
You can go. I mean,
that's it's a good snack, grab and go snack.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just throwing other ones out.
I'm
I wouldn't say
not
it's top
opposed.
5.
I'm not opposed. It gets a little bit of a knock for me just because I can go to a mall and get it with anything. But like aside,
Go to Century 3 right now.
Yeah, shut up. R.I.P. Would you throw a Dippin' Dots in there?
I don't think they're considered. That's why I left them
like
off.
Dippin' Dots.
Otherwise, they'd be on the list.
What
Because
is,
that's how I.
Is it just a food court, or does that have a name?
No, I know what you're talking about, but I don't think it has a name.
There's
By,
some.
like,
I was
Carousel
looking
and-
up.
There's another one.
The pavilion, you mean? I think that's what it is because it had like different like I know what you're talking about because it looked like when you walked in
It's
there
like
was
a
like
food court.
yeah, it was like a food court. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
Potato patch. That has to be number 1.
I always end the night at Kennywood with Dippin' Dots. That is how I personally always end it because, at that point, you have a little bit of your like potato patch, a little bit of your golden nugget that you had a little bit earlier, and then you finally end it off with some more ice cream with Dippin' Dots. I honestly think I got the cookies and cream one every single time.
Yeah.
That was probably my go-to as well.
I always got ices. From the place in the middle by the.
Oh, by
little
like the
pavilion.
parachute like ride and stuff, I think.
Right in the middle of like where all the games were.
Oh, okay,
and,
yeah.
Like where they put on the shows and everything.
Yeah, okay, I got you, yeah.
But that's it. I think that the food vendors, they do a good job. Especially I will say I've never had the chicken and the buffalo sauce on the fries before. It's always been the cheese and bacon for me. So maybe
That's fair. But if you don't want to wait in line for potato patch fries, it's a nice little hidden gem that I think more people need to take advantage of.
I say, and hear me out. I say we do a live show from Kennywood.
Do you have any idea how hard that's going to be
I
to
was just
manage?
thinking that too. Not even a live show, just we go and we just film it.
No, live show. Like where the show is, where the showings are, we're just there. We're
Oh
on the
God.
Next Tuesday, be there, Kennywood.
Don't do that. Alrighty, let's head off to Radical Ranking number 2. Now we're gonna get into some nostalgia, because with Kennywood, or just amusement parks in general, all the rides can't be there.
Bastards.
There are always some rides that just shut down. And I'm gonna be honest, I was very surprised to find that some of these had shut down. Granted, I haven't been there in a long time, so it's probably why I looked at it and I was like, huh, that one's like some of these I knew. Then otherwise, I was very surprised. Let's start off with number 5. One that surprised me was the volcano. The volcano is no longer open for Kennywood. For those that don't know, it essentially was just a smaller, faster Ferris wheel, but it went upside down.
A lot fast.
Way faster.
Ferris wheel on like drugs, basically.
That was a deceptively scary ride because first off, you could fit like 2 people in one of those very tiny like cages and stuff, and then all of a sudden when it like tilts over and you're going upside down, it gets very like compact very quickly.
Wasn't it something before the volcano where that you stood up in the cage, or is that the same thing?
You know what?
Looks
Well,
like
I
you
think
sit down.
there are those rides where you have to like put your back to the thing you hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one next to the volcano, the King Kahuna.
No, that's different.
Oh.
It was where the volcano is.
Oh, I thought it was the same. I thought it was next to it or something, but my bad.
You know, I always love going on those rides. I don't know how I would deal with it today. I feel like I'm more motion.
So I was always afraid of rides that I had to be upside down on. So for like the longest time, like those were the ones that I avoided until I was like until I was older, maybe like 11 or 12. And then like the roller coasters, like I was afraid of until I was like 8, and then I went on the racer for the first time, and then I became addicted. So.
Yeah, I was always a roller coaster boy.
Same.
Again, I don't know how I would deal. I like to think I would still be okay with them now. It's just more or less all the spinning and the motion, like how that would affect my body. So let's get into a ride that is, we talk about deceptively quick, and one that goes in a circle. I don't even know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but the Barren Curve. This was the bobsled.
My sister loved this when she was little. Like she would be like, "Oh, come on, Dad! Like let's go." And he'd be like, "Oh, like all right." And you could see his face was getting white, like he's just getting sick from it.
I'm gonna be honest, I hated this one because not only did you go like moderately fast, but like it was not a complete circle. Like it was like it would go bam and bam, like you would hit a notion around one of the points. And it was just like, stop, like this hurts. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if you remember correctly, but there's a reason in Cool Runnings when they're testing out, when they're in the bathtub testing out the curves. It's not a smooth ride. Like there are some stuff you gotta like watch out for.
It's supposed to mimic a bobsled.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
But I mean, mostly children went on this, so like it was. I don't even know if they knew what a bobsled was. Yeah, I don't even know if they knew a person's name was Bob or if there was a sled. But there was the Barren Curve. It is no longer there.
This is one like you went to Kennywood like the next year and it was just gone. And you're like,
where did
you're like, I knew there was something here, but what was here?
Yeah, it was one of those ones too that like didn't really, I don't think, had a strong following with it. So I think that's why it wasn't
bringing it back though. Like I know that it's gone now. It was gone before.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was gone, I think, twice before this, and it maybe it finds its way back again. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
One that I don't think will ever find its way back. One of my actually like I love doing this ride, and it's one that Greg started to open his mouth about, so we're gonna get into it.
Oh, okay.
King Kahuna. I love this ride. I don't know why people were so like freaked out about it. Like I thought it was fun.
You know what? It was like, it had everything.
It did.
It was like, it was a water ride.
Yeah.
You flipped upside down. I think you stood the entire time. I'm not 100% sure. I think you stood, or if you
sat down.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are like 2 rows behind you, I think.
Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, it was like, this was like a freaky ass ride when you think about it.
Because it swung, it flipped you upside down, and then the water fountain.
And then the water fountain like hit you. It had like everything you could possibly want from a roller coaster, from an amusement park ride, all in one.
And
it was
like every time you went, it seemed like it was closed.
I know. You know what?
It'd
You
be
know what?
open for like an hour and then shut down.
You know what it was? It was because so many people were because it did almost everything that's why it was essentially taxing itself so much.
And
I
people
will.
get
I will never forget. Again, this story time again. When I went on this, I think I did this like 3 times in a row. So I like went on it, and this one person, I guess, when they got off of it, they took like one step and just like immediately like fell to the ground. And me being young, I was just like, oh my god, like they just died. From so I guess I don't know if it was like motion or heat exhaustion or whatever it was, but
How could it heat exhaustion? You got water from the ride. You were fine.
Imagine
like
it was hot water.
someone did like die on that ride. Not I don't know at Kennywood,
Yeah.
but like at another amusement park, so that's why they shut it down.
Well, first off, the volcano one was definitely the one that you saw more people throwing up on. That's definitely accurate. But the King Kahuna, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not surprised by. I mean, I thought it was awesome when I did ride it because of the fact that it had everything. But I can see why it was shut down so many times just for the fact that it was so taxing when you think about it because it had to do so much stuff.
Let's get into a ride that I personally appreciate, and it scares the living crap out of I don't think anybody that's gone on it and they had to take it away. Was the Pitfall.
I'll be honest, like it took me a while to get
Same.
to want to ride
Same.
the Pitfall.
I went on very young and I got addicted very, very quickly to the rush that it gave you. I've seen people on this ride that have passed out as soon as it drops.
Yeah.
To the point where like as soon as it goes, like then they wake back up. Like it's I personally enjoyed it. No one ever wanted to ride it with me because they were terrified of it. But I personally, the thrill, which I don't know if it makes me a psychopath or what, I have no idea. But the thrill of like almost falling, excited.
You feel weightless, yeah.
You feel like you're just on cloud 9, and then the cloud drops, and you don't know if the cloud's gonna smack the earth or not. So that's why I like.
I remember when I was 14. I actually I went to Kennywood like after I graduated like middle school and stuff, going into high school. I went with some friends of mine like in the middle of a weekday and stuff, and there was no one at Kennywood and no one was in line for the Pitfall. So my friends and I just rode the Pitfall I think 20 straight times. And we actually like and we were stupid at like some points, so like we took our shoes off just to like kind of like feel the air like just kind of like rush like through us and stuff like that as we were falling. It was a lot of fun, but I got over it real quickly after I did it the first time.
I feel like the first couple times you're like up there, you're like, oh, this is cool, I get to see everything, and then it just drops.
I used to see her high school all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. But like once you're older, you can like you time it, and you're like, okay, now we're gonna fall. Like you know when it's gonna happen. But
like
when you're a kid, like you have no idea.
There's like a sound that you hear at the top when once it like goes away, you know it's about to release, so you can kind of prepare yourself for it.
Yeah. And they even had the mini Pitfall in Kittyland for like the little kids.
Or like the mini still Phantom too.
Yeah.
I remember writing that. Yeah.
And then finally, at number 1, a longtime staple, no longer there, unfortunately, was the Log Jammer at number 1. As simple as it was, it's the only like water ride that I actually like to go on because between like us and the viewers, not a big water ride person. I hated it because after you were soaked and you had to rely on the heat, you were let's be honest, I don't know how many of us drink water when we're at an amusement park. I forget a lot of the time. So not only are you dehydrated, but you're soaked.
I mean, in fairness, you forgot to drink water on Sunday too, just saying. So that's just you in general.
What?
I mean, sometimes it feels good for the water rides. With the like Pittsburgh Plunge, like you don't even have to ride that ride. You just stand there, get soaked.
So when I hated going on water rides when I was younger, and mainly because like I didn't like water getting in my face. So like I remember when like I would go on the Pittsburgh Plunge, like if I was sitting in the front row, like as soon as we were going down, like I would immediately put my head like on the rest, so like I didn't get like splash or like or like on the raging rapids, like when you are turning trying to avoid the waterfall, but when you do, you're like, oh, fuck. So that happens. But the log jammer was kind of like, the easiest way to kind of like get yourself into getting on water rides because it was a very little splash, but it still got you what you needed to do.
It depends on who was in the front seat of that log, though.
That's fair.
So if you stack
It always
perfectly,
depends. Mo's right. Yeah.
If you ever, by the way, I highly recommend people watch Pittsburgh Dad's like farewell to the log jammer because it's hilarious. Just saying.
Yeah, I used to ride it all the time. I hate that it's gone. I think it was a staple. I get it though. You know, they gotta make their money. Just like we gotta make memories as we go into our favorite topic when we get into the show. It's time for the great debate.
Forgot an important one. Damn.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're calling him out. Hang on.
What are you doing?
Oh, we're calling you out real quick.
I actually
real
had
quick.
one, but you
You
jumped
kind
into this so quick.
you
that I, like,
sat
didn't have
shade
time.
into the great debate real quickly that you didn't want us to like start talking about like a ride that you missed that was very near and dear to my heart at least.
I'm curious if it's the same one.
The Turnpike.
The Turnpike, yeah.
You gotta have the
Yeah.
Turnpike. What is wrong with you?
I thought it was okay. I'm not the biggest.
Oh,
fan.
you're crazy.
I mean, as a kid though, like you're like, oh, I get to drive. Like,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
awesome. And then,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You actually had the drive because like you weren't on the track.
Oh yeah, my dad hated me when I was when I was on the Turnpike because like I would like bob and weave so much. Like he would just like he wanted to kill me. I think after a
Yeah.
certain point doing it. Yeah.
I don't know.
The Turnpike's like a classic, man, because it's
I-
first
I-
off it was huge. Like the entire like ride is massive.
I like again. I thought it was okay. I didn't see a big need as as you guys did. I would just go
It would have
drive
been on my
cars when I
top
was young.
5. Volcano would not have been on there because I didn't ride that.
See, I did love the volcano though. In fairness, I thought the volcano was cool. I did think people got way too angry with the when they changed the old mill to Garfield's Nightmare.
What is it? Is it back to the?
I think it's back to the old mill now.
If I had an honorable mention to the best rides in Kennywood, it was Garfield's Nightmare.
Garfield's Nightmare was actually really cool. There were too many people that got angry about the old mill thing, and it wasn't like I thought Garfield's Nightmare was cool.
There's one other one.
What?
The Gold Rush. It's something else
Ooh, yeah,
now.
but that's been for a while now. It's like
Yeah, but that's still.
it's like a laser like ghost
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
for a while now. But that's kind of cool though. I like that.
Again, the amount of times that people would stand in line for that one, it was stupid to even like. You had all these other rides that would move it so much quicker, and then you had to stand in line for. Oh, you want to shoot ghosts in an old mine? Oh, just go to laser. What are you doing? I don't know.
Some people like the idea of shooting ghosts. What's wrong with that?
Well, I don't know. Who you gonna call? I guess, but Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
So let's get into it, guys.
No order.
Great debate for tonight. I can go first. I don't care.
I think you should.
None of ours are gonna make a difference into being the same thing because the great debate is simply what was the essentially like I don't know if it's the best, but what was the most memorable moment from Kennywood that you can remember? Because there's been some. I'll just go first. Okay, so imagine this: I am in a particular roller coaster.
You're not gonna say which one?
I'm getting.
Okay.
It's getting there.
Sorry.
That particular roller coaster was the Phantom's Revenge.
Okay.
As we know, near the end of the Phantom's Revenge, you have that boom, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like an ode to the Jackrabbit a little bit.
yeah. You really should leave things in your pockets.
Oh, no.
Let me tell you this. It was not that a phone fell out of my pocket. A phone didn't fall out of someone else's pocket. I'm talking pocket change. Pocket change. That, well, literally, and I'll attest to this, because the person in front of me when we were doing this just threw up I don't know, must have been like 10, 15 coins,
Oh no.
most of
Uh,
them pennies, and about 12 of them just smacked me straight in the head as that ride was happening. I literally had I had like a couple coin
Yeah, they
marks
come at you
up my
fast.
head. Yeah. And, I was, it hurt. It hurt like shit.
well,
I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie.
yeah, absolutely. I can
So
believe it.
like I was like holding my head, and the person literally like ran as soon as like the ride stopped, afraid that someone was gonna like, because like you can't do that, man. That's screwed up. Like, let's just talk. Like, can you imagine if it was from the front? You just threw up all that change and it all came back. It's like
Mhm.
different people. Yeah, that shit hurt though. That
Yeah, I
I
believe
had to
it.
like sit down for like a good 30 minutes after that.
Yeah.
That hurt me so bad. But that's my most
I,
memorable moment.
I'm
It wasn't someone near dying or constant cell phones I see falling out of people's
yeah.
pockets on roller
Mm.
coasters. Why do you even film them? Like, it was a bunch of chump change hitting me in the head on the Phantoms of the
Mm.
Bay.
I'm gonna piggyback off Austin, so I'll go next.
Go ahead.
So it involves the Phantom's Revenge also,
Okay.
the same part that you're talking about. But my mom was like in the front,
Okay.
and she had her fanny pack, and it
J-
just
Janet, I feel like could definitely pull off a fanny
yeah,
pack for the
she might have
record.
been like in the second row or something, but it flew over our heads, and we're like, oh my god, like what was that? I think we were in the back, like it flew over our heads, and then we get off the ride, and my mom's like, that was my fanny pack. Like she had no idea like it was hers, and then they had to like send someone down like on the ground level to get her fanny pack, bring it back up, and it was just nuts. So like that
You
that
were
happens
that
to a
person.
lot of people.
You were those people. They're
Yeah,
like nerds, like laughing, like.
yeah. But like, and
Isn't the fanny pack supposed to stay like snap on
it's
to you?
supposed to,
It
yeah.
should,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Theoretically.
I don't know how it came off. But other than that, my other most memorable moment would be me and my friend Grant in middle school or high school.
Mhm.
We went for Kennywood Day, and we rode the Aero 360 like you said, like 10 times in a row.
Yeah,
Like,
because you were like the only people
yeah,
there.
we just kept getting like off and on.
Mhm.
It was just nuts. And like now, I don't even know if I could ride that ride.
Well,
Like that day, like I felt amazing because I was like, oh, like we're just doing this over and over. Like,
yeah.
But I don't think I could ride it now.
Um, I mean,
So you can-
I probably could, for the record.
10 times.
Nah, I don't know about 10, but that's still itchy. So it's so like I mean, like obviously, like growing up, like I went to Kennywood like a good bit of times just because like it was like I live so close to it, kind of like you. Um, like school picnics all the time and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Like went with kids I grew up with. But I would say probably the most recent ones that I remember, because like my Kennywood memories, I don't remember a lot of them, because like they were so like because there was such a big gap
Yeah.
between the last time I went to Kennywood versus like then, so like it's kind of hard to remember a lot of that stuff for me. But the most recent ones were the Pitfall one that I did, which was just a lot of fun because it was during a weekday, no one else was there, so we just like took advantage of it, and I loved that. Um, the last time that I was able to like fully experience Kennywood was Physics Day, my senior year of college. Sorry, senior year of high school. Senior year of high school. And I remember, and I don't know why. First off, I don't know why the fuck I was in an AP Physics class. I shouldn't have been, because
Same.
should not have been in an AP Physics class. It was
Same.
so hard because I just remember getting there. I remember how excited I was to just like spend a whole day doing that, going
Yeah.
to Kennywood and stuff and all that. And my teacher gave us like a, not a packet, but like a good sized stuff of like papers to like for like math problems and stuff like that and physics problems. I'm just like, shit, I don't want to do this, because and thankfully we someone convinced the smartest kid in the room to let us all copy off of his stuff, so like we all turned in the paperwork, and then I think it only lasted like an hour and a half into our day, so we were able to spend the rest of the day at Kennywood and stuff, and that was also the first time I rode the Sky Coaster. Because I was a senior in high school, so I actually had some money because you forget the Sky Coaster is expensive, but it was a ton of fun.
While you nerds were doing AP Physics, I was looking at planets for astronomy because I had the option. I remember was if it was two science or if you wanted to do either science or math when you were a senior because you only had to do 4 of one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you do 4 math classes or 4 science classes throughout your 4 years. There.
Oh.
I think that's how it was. I don't remember anymore.
No wonder they're so educated out at Kiski.
I barely passed chemistry, so I wasn't even remotely gonna dive into physics, considering it's science and math. I don't know what's.
Oh yeah,
So it's not
physics.
fun.
Nah, physics is basically physics is basically advanced algebra. But I was good at normal physics for a time, but then like when I got to AP, I was just like, shit, I'm not good at
We
this.
had our teacher. His name was Dr. Boyd, so he was a doctor, like an old college
Oh, yeah, yeah.
professor, and it was just like none of us knew what we were doing.
Right. It was just like because at the time it was kind of like one of those things that like whatever you got a grade in it was weighed heavier, so like your
Yeah.
GPA was looked
Yeah.
at a little bit better, but that was about it. But yeah, I hated AP Physics. But yeah, I just remember cheating off of the one smart kid in the class, and then I was able to enjoy Kennywood the rest of the time as a senior in high school, and that was
There you
awesome.
I don't know. We took the telescopes out, which didn't make sense in hindsight because
It was during the day.
It was first period. So it made no sense why we were taking the telescopes out, looking into the sky. Feel like that's painful for your eyes. I don't know how I still have 20/20 vision, but I do.
So well educated at Kiski.
Happens, man.
Maybe that's the reason you have 20/20 eyes.
Maybe makes a lot of sense.
I don't know. Yeah, I think the memories are good, gents. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the top 10 ranking of the evening. Stay tuned.
Let's dive right into sports, as I have strong opinions on that. Which college team could beat a professional team in the same sport right now?
Okay.
There is not a single answer that is better than the LSU Tigers defeating the Cincinnati Bengals.
Even if I know the pitch that's coming, every other part of me is still normal.
That's why it's frustrating for me, Greg.
It's like okay, if I know what something is coming, I know ahead of time. I still have to be able to do the action to get the result that I need.
Okay, so they won 3 games in 10 years with 3 rebuilds.
I don't lose at arguments. All
Especially about fast food. So yeah.
You will never walk alone. Guess what? Now you will. Coronavirus.
I barely touch my girlfriend's cat. The most I'd be willing to do is like just kind of put my finger on its forehead and just like.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with us is Alex Kazor from Steelers Depot.
We are live with Ryan Smith, professional cornhole player in the ACL. Ryan,
What all franchises were you able to work with in the NHL?
With Phoenix, Carolina, and Detroit.
So here is Moorhead's ranking. Moorhead is my cousin. He is the rank king.
Higher
Top 10 extra Power Rangers.
Oh.
This is the top 10 emo songs of the 2000s.
There's only one correct answer for number 1.
But
Why is F is for Family better than Futurama when Futurama is like Star Wars for potheads? Like
I know.
I'm
Well, I think
we have one or two that are mad in the chat.
You're welcome for that.
Okay, we're gonna get banned.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our final segment in our Kennywood episode. And you can't have a Kennywood episode without some rides, to say the least. Let it be known, these are not just limited to roller coasters. Just throwing that out.
Okay.
There.
Well, I was gonna say there's definitely not 10 roller coasters, but
And they
They're neat.
are your top 10.
They are my, in particular, top 10.
this is going
so
to
the-
be very, very interesting.
I think all these are right where they need to be, personally.
I will see.
Some would disagree. Some are wrong. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Let's get into number 10. It's not one that it's not their go-to ride. It's a nice ride to end the night on. Swing Shot at number 10.
To end the night? I don't know about that.
Because when you end the night at Kennywood, there's so many lines of all these different coasters that you are going to be waiting for hours on end just to get, because everyone wants to get in that last ride.
Yeah.
That last ride at the last second. So the Swing Shot, it was nice because you had the cooling effect of the night already in place. Then going swinging from pendulum-like motion, coupled with the wind, you were hot all day. It's a nice way to finally cool off without getting wet.
And at Kennywood at night, all the lights are on.
Which is really cool.
If you keep your eyes open while you're on this ride, you can see all the lights.
Every time I would go on this ride, there would always be only one of the swings was working.
Sounds about right.
Which was kind of funny in hindsight to it. But yeah, I agree. That was actually something really cool that I appreciated. If you got on a specific last ride, you could see like everything lit up at once. It was awesome.
And it's just like
you guys didn't have both of them working like at the same time?
Oh yeah, there have been
times.
times.
There's been times.
Oh yeah, there have been times that I've gone on this ride and only one of them was working.
Or like
yeah.
they only have one side filled up.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think every time I've been on, both of them have worked.
Well, I also like remember going when this ride first like started, so I'm not surprised if there was like some, like bugs or like technicalities or something like that. So, but yeah, I've definitely remember like being on this ride and only having one side working.
I guess I'm the lucky one. I don't know. We'll hit off to number 9. It's a similar fashion, but I think it's a lot more exhilarating, more cooling. And that is the Black Widow at number 9.
Never rode this.
You never rode the Black Widow?
No, because this Black Widow replaced the Pitfall, if I remember correctly, right? I believe it did.
No, because I remember both of them being.
Oh, Magic Carpet. Okay,
They
yeah,
replaced the Magic
yeah.
Carpet,
So I never rode this then because the last time I still remember going with the Magic Carpet in there. So like I've never rode this.
Dude, I love the Black Widow. Like you was everyone around like a thing. And it just swung you like wherever it wanted to swing. There would always be like one person, oh my God! Oh no! We're gonna die! Relax. Okay?
That's
Like
maybe that's their way of amusing themselves. Is pretending like they're gonna die.
Yeah, just frighten everybody else, I guess. I don't know.
That's amusing.
Didn't this one have the picture thing too on it? Or is this one of the rides like it takes your picture when it hits a certain point?
That's where it goes. It like swings like back and forth. I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
No, like you know how like the log jammer when you come down, it took everyone's picture, the group.
Oh no, it didn't take a picture. No,
it didn't have one. I thought this one did.
Let's number 8 is where we start getting controversial.
Oh no.
I personally believe you had to be in one particular spot for this ride to be cool. Number 8 is the Jackrabbit.
Wow.
I disagree. I think any spot you would have fun with. You could loosen up your seatbelt on any of the cars and you would have been fine, bud.
No, see, I love to almost be thrown out of the cart, and the only way you were able to do that was from the very back. I remember you had to be in the last cart in the Jackrabbit in order for it to bump you almost off the tracks. And that's what I wanted, because if I was on any other part of that ride, when I was going on the last little bit, I would like jump out a little bit like, it's not the same. I want to feel that life or death feeling. I want to feel that flight or fight response in a fucking roller coaster.
Well, if you're a little kid, you feel that. You fly
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. I always remember like loosening the seatbelt on because I wanted to be able to like fly as I was like taking the bump. Yeah.
let it be known that Greg loosened the belt.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I am not ashamed about it. I loosened the belt on the Jackrabbit every time, just so because I wanted to hit the bump higher.
He wanted to fly.
Absolutely. You guys didn't do that?
I don't know if I loosened it.
Oh come
no.
on.
Let me in particular, no.
Put my hands up.
Oh yeah, I loosened the hell out of that thing.
Let's get to number 7. One that they edited it, and I think it went a lot smoother transition afterwards, is the Exterminator. I know it seems.
Oh, this should be
pretty
top
low.
5. God,
No, see,
I need
like,
to hear this.
First, man, I don't know. I just had some bad experiences on this ride. I don't know if it probably is me personally, but like after a while, you have to stand. I guess I should say like the amount of times that when like COVID hit, like this ride took a huge like bump because you were inside waiting, and it like maybe I just hated the line system more than anything.
Their line
was a
system,
long line.
their line was annoying. I will give you
It
that.
was like,
That's fair.
oh, it was just like a wave the whole time. Like, why not just have like a straight in and out? Why do this whole way? Because it's annoying.
And then you have the sirens and everything when you're in there.
Yeah.
Like, that's the most infuriating thing, Bo. I'm glad you got to that. Because if you're sitting waiting for it or standing, whatever you want to do, I know some people that have sat while waiting, the blaring noises that are inside, like I want to experience that on the ride. I don't want to experience that in line.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
The best time to go on the Exterminator was during Fright Night. 100%, because it was pitch black in there. Like you didn't because I remember like there were definitely times like during the like in the daytime and stuff like they still like had a little bit of light so you can see some stuff from time to time. But at Phantom Fright Night they deliberately like blacked everything out so you couldn't see shit when you were riding it.
Did you ever ride the Wild Mouse at Idlewild?
Never been Wild.
Oh really?
Mm-mm.
I remember. I think it was at a different park. I remember riding a Wild Mouse.
But
It might have
basically
been at Wild. I have been.
Idlewild, yeah. It's all outside there, but the Exterminator is basically the same thing, except inside in darkness. So this would probably be top 3 for me.
I think it'd be top 5 for me easily.
The only time I enjoyed doing this was in Fright Night. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. We love that Denny is now tuned into the show. You know, it seems like he has other things to do besides annoy us now. He didn't.
According to him, he thought you'd ruin Kennywood for him. So
he was supporting the
troops.
troops.
Like I ruined everything else, but yeah, the Exterminator for me is at 7. Take that as you will. That's my opinion. Let's get into a ride that I thought was so much better than what it was now that I ride it. Obviously, the whole transgressions that happened with this ride. I want to say it might have been like in the past year. Number 6 for me is the Aero 360.
Yeah, it was very recent. Like people got stuck on it.
Stuck up there for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, and but that's the first time I've heard anything like that in years that the Aero 360 was open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can tell you how many times I like this ride. But the people that get on this ride are like, they're stupid. Like, because they're like, empty your pockets, put all the stuff in here. Then they do. And you're like, that doesn't happen to me. I'll just put it in my pocket.
This is why you always wear cargo shorts to Kennywood.
The amount of shit that would fall out of people's pockets during this ride was ridiculous. Or they even had the notion where you could like take shoes off and everything, put your shoes there. Someone just was like, nope, and just left them on, but they left them on untied. So their shoes like
That's smart.
Flew across like the park. Now it's just like, God forbid someone gets hit with that. They're dead.
Why the fuck would you like? I can understand. Why the fuck would you leave them on if they were untied?
Well, even if you take them off, like when it swings past, your shoes end up like 10 yards away.
Yeah.
Like,
But here's the thing: don't give people the option. Just tell them you gotta keep shoes on and keep shoes off. But don't be like, here's the option if you want to take them off there, because then you have people like that.
take one shoe off, keep one shoe on.
I mean, yeah, that's the way to go.
Untied.
Determine what's the best system, essentially.
I remember because the guy literally got off the ride, and he was like, "I only got one shoe." So either someone stole his shoe,
Yep.
in particular, or he left them on, and it flew off his foot. Idiot.
Denny says, remember getting a whap by change on that ride. Denny, we just had a full conversation from Austin about how he got whapped by change on the Phantom's Revenge, and it was very
That last
entertaining.
bump, yeah. I got 10 coins that hit me in the skull. About 8 of them were pennies. I think one was a quarter. Stupid.
Penny for your thoughts, good sir.
Number 5. One that I don't ride often. I'm gonna be honest with you, because it seems like when I ride a roller coaster, like I want like. Now this might seem contradictory to what I said about the curve, but that's not a roller coaster. That's a ride. Whereas this, I want to feel a little turbulence. Skyrocket to me, which is number 5, feels like the most easygoing coaster. There's no like thrill to it. I'm gonna be honest with you, but it's the smoothest one.
It is smooth. It's pretty fast too. Like, what is it like? 30 seconds or something. Like it's insanely fast.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I don't like. It's on here because it's a nice roller coaster, but it does not take you long to end the ride. Which you're standing in there in line for how long?
Yeah.
Just to do that, so take it as you will.
And it's where the turnpike used to be.
R.I.P. Yeah, never rode the Skyrocket, so I don't have a say in this.
Well, you definitely rode this one, Greg. Want to know why? Because it's made of wood, so you definitely rode it. Number 4.
Are you saying I'm a beaver or something, or a carpenter, or like I'm confused here?
Oh, you might like beaver. I don't know, Greg. But number 4.
Wow. Okay. That's
Number 4.
That was a hell of a turn. All right.
Number 4, boys, is the Thunderbolt.
I hate. Oh man, this. I remember like I always dreaded being in the Thunderbolt to a degree, just because I was always the person that got squished.
Yeah.
I hated it so much. It was a fun ride, but I hated that part.
That's why you always rode with friends, and you made sure you had an even bunch. Because if you're have I don't know, 7 people, and you get stuck with that random person that you like, it's happened to me before. That's why I can speak on this. Because I sat next to a person that clearly did not know the meaning of the word deodorant, and it felt like I was sitting in a cauldron of beef stew. That's what I'll compare it to. But the Thunderbolt's very fun. It's one of those rides that I can always appreciate. One of the first ones there. I can't even remember how long it's been there. It's been there a while.
Oh yeah, I think it was the first roller coaster built.
I thought it was the Jackrabbit, but
I know it was one of the two, but I thought it was the Thunderbolt because I thought it was something else before it was called the Thunderbolt. I can't remember.
Danny says they were so space constrained for that ride, so I thought they did a good job filling in with what they had. Yeah. The people working those are always like, "Hey, let's go, next person here. You don't know 'em? Tough shit. Get on. You're getting on."
Figure 8 toboggan.
Okay, so the Thunderbolt was originally called the Pippin. I didn't know that actually. The Pippin.
Number 3, which I know Denny would love because Denny is a gambling man. Number 3 is simply entitled Racer.
This was the first roller coaster I ever rode, so this holds like a very special place in my heart.
I remember that I would get on this ride every time. And, there's probably some arithmetic or whatever the hell it's
Arithmetic.
Yeah, that word. Way to determine which one finishes first. But to me, when I rode it as a kid, I was always like, "Are we gonna beat them?"
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
kid,
There was fun.
You like split the family up. It's like, you two go here, you two go here. We'll see who wins.
Did you always try to high five someone like when you were like coming around the bend on the one?
No, I always flipped them off.
Yes.
Wow.
You were that kid.
I was pick a kid I didn't know. Hey, you like.
Just flipping off like a random 6-year-old kid or
Oh,
something like
God,
that.
yeah, it's
Jesus.
hilarious. What are they gonna do?
Well, the parents are gonna do something probably, but we'll
Not
see.
really. What are they gonna? Little junior gonna complain that someone gave them a certain finger while they were in line? Like, come on now. But yeah, I can imagine little Denny going on this ride, being like, "It's 2-to-1 odds. I gotta take the marginal odd. I gotta get on there. I mean, it's certain color. If it's blue or green, that's plus 500 on the way down."
I truly do hope there's a site that you can bet on the racer. I really hope there is.
might be.
I would not be surprised.
Denny was probably that kid that you were yelling at on the other
Denny
side.
says, well, okay, so Denny puts in always bet left side.
Makes sense.
I don't know, Den. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, because
there's probably like a rhythm to it for all we know.
Track might be a little shorter.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, always bet left side, Denny. That means I'll bet the right next time.
You bet the strong side, which is left side.
Strong side.
Left side.
Number 2 is the steel curtain.
Never rode it.
Has to be. The amount of Yinzer that's on this ride is just hilarious for that it being all Pittsburgh themed. And the roller coaster itself is amazing. I love it. I will truly ride it probably like 4 or 5 times a day before I finally quit. I'll stand in line for it all the time. I think it's one of the it's the newest ride that I could fall in love with next to all the nostalgia ones. So have you ever rode the curtain?
I don't think I have. Is this like their newest ride, or do they have something else?
No, I think this is the newest one because I like vaguely remember this was built 2 years ago, I think.
And it's like in Steelers country, isn't it? Like a whole section of the park now?
Yeah. So like where the log jammer used to be, that's essentially where this is.
Yeah, I don't think I rode this. When we went to Fright Night, I don't know if it was open.
Because I think I'm not 100% sure, but did they stop running the Sky Coaster to like make sure to fit this?
I think so.
Okay.
So the Sky Coaster opened 3 years ago, in 2019.
The
July
Sky Coaster? No.
Steel curtain.
Steel curtain.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say Sky Coaster was around since I was like in high school, man.
Yeah, Steel Curtain 2019.
Okay. So yeah, they would have had to shut down the Sky Coaster because like that was like right in the middle of the lake area and stuff, or pond. I'm sorry, pond area.
Just up and around the creek. It's no surprise to me. The Phantom's Revenge is our number 1. It holds a very special place in my heart because it felt like
coins
the other roller coasters and besides the chains that got hit in my face, but it felt like on the other rides you had your training wheels, and then you went on the Phantom's Revenge and the training wheels came off. Like this was the roller coaster. This was a rite of passage.
Oh, I couldn't tell you how many times I had to ride the kitty Phantom before like I was ready for this.
I'm gonna be honest, I never rode the little Phantom before I rode this.
Really?
I didn't want anything to feel like it. I wanted it to be an experience on its own. I didn't want anything to come to it because I thought it was going to be too similar to the actual Phantom's Revenge, where I didn't want any part of it. I wanted to be the big kid, and I wanted to ride it on my own.
Okay.
The best part is when you're going up the first hill. And you're like, oh, let's try and find our car in the parking lot out there. And then next thing you know, you're just like, drop.
Oh, that drop is incredible, yeah.
And then the Phantom's Revenge goes under the Thunderbolt, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That part, I'm always ducking.
Yes. It always did kind of freak me out.
Yeah.
I duck still to this day. I know that it's not going to decapitate me or anything, but I always duck no matter what. I don't know why I do it. But yeah, that notion is always terrifying. And then you have the wave motion at the end where if you're in the wrong seat, you are gonna get screwed up on that. I think it's in the middle. You don't want to be in the middle on the Phantom's Revenge when that hits because you hit the bump at the right time, and it gives you whiplash.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, that was very enjoyable Kennywood episode, gentlemen.
Solid top 10.
Yeah.
Any rides that you can think that he missed?
I'm trying to think. I have a soft spot for the kangaroo, just cause, you know.
But it's no longer well.
It's coming back. It's coming back.
Still. It's coming back.
It's coming back. That one like parachute ride almost that was
paratrooper or whatever it is.
yeah. Like I don't even know what it is, but it was cool. Like that was like a nice like end of the night ride for me because like everything was lit up and you would just kind of like and the lines were always short. It was cool. And also, this is underappreciated in all seriousness, but the swings.
Yeah.
Like it's an older one, but it's a classic. You know, you get your own spot. You're just like swinging by yourself, like while everyone else is kind of like in their own seat and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I always appreciated that.
I'm pretty sure. Now I didn't go on at the time, but I'm pretty sure it had to shut down at one point because someone like shit themselves while they were riding it.
I feel like that's any. I feel like that's any amusement park ride. Austin, I am kind of with you though on water rides. Like I'm not the craziest about them. I have to be in like the right mood. For it. Like, and that's what pisses me off. Like I remember like when I was a kid and I would have to go to Kennywood, I would always have to remember to like put all of my stuff in like a Ziploc bag. Oh, it annoyed the hell out of me that I had to do that. Just
ponchos if you didn't want to get your clothes wet.
Yeah, it's just like it was so much of a hassle. But there were times where they were fun. But like I hated it because of all the hassle that you had to do with it.
Another ride would be the train. Shows Kennywood's history.
Yeah, that's fair.
You didn't see Bo going on the train now. Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that!
What was the car one that's like right between the train and like Kittyland? I can't remember what that is.
I forget what the name of that was.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is either, but it's like it's almost kind of like it's almost like you're in a bumper car, but it's not a bumper car, but yet you're going around like a track and stuff like that.
Another one would be the pirate ship. I don't know if that's still there.
I don't know if it is.
What was the spaceship one?
Cosmic Chaos.
Cosmic Chaos.
I think I only rode that maybe once, and it was cool, but like it never it wasn't anything that like kind of like gravitated towards me or anything.
Music Express.
Oh God, that's another one that like you get squished on. Jesus, that was one like I remember I had like 2 people in the car with me, and I was at the very end. I was in so much pain.
Well, that's it, boys. Another fantastic episode to say the least. This was episode 94.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting closer.
It's enjoyable. Next week, guest up in the air still, but next week, our episode will be all about the glorious thing we know as fantasy football.
Is this the first time we've ever announced a topic a week ahead of time?
No.
I don't think so. Definitely.
Well,
first time in a while.
There was
a while we had like
we had them scheduled out, and then we just
then life happens.
Yeah, we got lazy. But
no, not lazy.
Well,
life happens.
I say lazy, but it'll be fun because Austin and I both have fantasy drafts that during the show that we'll be like talking about during it. So it'll be kind of funny.
That'll be interesting to have. Greg has a draft that he's scheduled for, and I also have a draft that I'm scheduled for. We will see.
We should have people pick who you're gonna draft.
No.
Not each pick, but maybe like random round.
Not when it's a league that I'm paying money in. Absolutely not.
Yep, I
be a baby.
We didn't tell you about this, but so this past Sunday, representing Thoughts from the Bench, we were in a Pittsburgh Podcasters League, and representing TFTB was myself, the King, and Dre. And we touched on this yesterday during the fantasy football episode that we just did. Mm-hmm. But for the very first pick, the very first round, what we did was we let the shop board at Carson City Saloon decide who we drafted.
Oh.
So it was like we had a number assigned to each shot,
and
depending on where it fell, that's who we ended up picking. And ours ended up being Bartender's Choice, which it was aligned to Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
And hilariously enough, all 3 of us ended up doing purple Gatorade shots. So it was
after the fact or before?
After the fact. So it was kind of no, that's what the bartender picked. She just she made them, and it was hilarious that we picked Lamar Jackson. So it was kind of like fate.
Yeah.
It was frustrating because I don't know where they got those overall rankings for because it should have been Justin Jefferson.
It should have been, but it was the dude from it was like a Yahoo one that the guy from Greenfield's Finest podcast brought, and it was so old. And
Again, it was fine. Like we had fun doing it.
Yeah.
We got our
we had a blast. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would have much rather preferred Justin Jefferson over Lamar Jackson.
I think Matt Light would have preferred Jonathan Taylor over Joe Mixon in fairness.
Yeah, because one guy ended up with Derrick Henry and Jonathan
Taylor. Yeah,
so
some
that
bullshit.
team's gonna be interesting to beat. We'll have to figure out more. The football season starts next week, boys. Thursday, so we're gonna get into fantasy football on Tuesday and touch base on it. Until then, ain't nothing else to say. It's been an interesting day. Go enjoy the rest of your Tuesdays, guys.
One more thing. Go
is
Pitt.
it?
Go Pitt.
The backyard brawl,
It's back.
baby. The backyard brawl. I am missing 2 beers deep this week because I have tickets. Literally, my season
because you're
my
season
season
ticket
tickets
holder.
are right here. These are my legit season tickets, and I am hyped. So.
I'm gonna go find them in the parking lot. Those are your tickets. Until then, everybody, we'll see you guys here next Tuesday at 6:30 for our fantasy football episode. Gavel Greg. Ladies and gentlemen, court is adjourned.
Court is adjourned.